Hello everyone, it's me, Brian Mullins the Fox here, and this is the first rant that I've ever posted on this channel in a long time. And I just want to say this one more time before this decade is over. This decade sucks ass. I went through it from being a 10-year-old kid living in Colorado Springs, Colorado, playing my Nintendo DS, going through elementary school. That was one of the things I got for Christmas of 2009. One day, me, my mom, and my sister went to Mountain Ridge Middle School to be introduced to the school. There was a brochure that one of the administrators said had a typo in it, and there was this one clip art image of a grizzly bear. I don't know if it might have been misprinted or if that was just the way it originally came out. Pretty fucking weird. Around its eyes is a patch of red, and the eyes itself I thought were the pupils, but then it might have been a major misprint of the colors. Or it might be me being a kid and having such a weird imagination. One night, when I was sleeping, I think it was on the 19th of December, as I can distinctly remember, that grizzly bear with completely black eyes, with the red Q mark like patch for each eye, was coming out to get me. I had horrible nightmares, and I had this very shitty camera as a kid. I barely recorded anything. I only recorded. It looked like something was coming at me, but as a kid, that was probably just my finger. Going through these 10 years were one of the best and worst years of my life simultaneously. And believe me, I have done some of the craziest shit as a kid and growing up. And I'm not going to mention that because I don't want to get too personal on this channel, but just had to say it as a side note. The year that I was at my turning point was 2014. At the very beginning of 2014, I started becoming a fan of All Dogs Go to Heaven 2. And my favorite character, believe it or not, is Sasha LaFleur. I still have a crush on her. Just as much as I sort of have, a relatable interest with Charlie, since he's somehow relatable. There are some websites that draw porn of this character, and others, some of it in a bestial way, which is highly fucked up. Don't you ever look it up. I do not recommend looking this up unless if you're 18. But even when you're 18, I still don't recommend it anyway. It's bad. Lots of other personal fucked up shit happened, and as of October 16th, 2017, I moved out of Tennessee and moved in with my dad up in Ohio because of the family drama that I was going through, which again, I will not mention for personal reasons. And back in 2017, I started making some cringe-worthy content, maybe a teeny bit provocative, but that's okay. Because as of February 27th, 2018, I started this very channel, and throughout almost 2 years, this channel has grown a lot. And I went through drama that I have talked about before numerous times, more times than I care to actually remember. It was really frustrating, but at the same time, I didn't really care about the drama. And you know why it took me so long to actually prove the roast game? Which stemmed from a hypothetical. It's because I was just getting used to technology. I first started making videos on my dad's Kindle Fire. Then in May of 2018, I got a new PC for my 19th birthday. And ever since then, I've been making videos like the one you're watching right now, and so much more. With the microphone quality, it took some time. I first started using the built-in PC mic, and then I just decided to stop using it because I was dissatisfied on how shitty it sounded. Then I started using my headset that I got from November of 2017. Then I had the cheap USB port microphone, which didn't even last a week. And now I have the blue Snowball Ice, which I usually put a sock over, so when I talk, sing, rant, laugh, etc., there's some, crisp quality. I might need to get a pop filter sometime in the future, whether near or far, it doesn't really matter. And during the time that I was making videos proving that the calories add up, fact-checking a couple of news articles that covers the topic of calorie consumption on Christmas Day in the past, videos like the one bashing the religious and proving the roast game death toll, and all those other research videos debunking consumption statistics, it took me all that time, and it was never easy. It took me from a few hours all the way up to nearly 24 hours. That does include the time that I slept, because I have a very weird sleeping schedule. And by the way, here's my quote of the decade. You don't have to put the pieces to the puzzle together to get the whole picture. You just paint it yourself. Then the picture is worth the 1,000 words, not 1,000 pieces. Now, I really want to vent off on how I feel about this ever so meaningless, contrived, vapid, culturally insignificant decade known as the 2010s. Outside of what I clearly remembered as a kid, outside of all the shit I went through, outside of the one movie that I was inspired to become a furry from, there was a lot to say about this decade when it came to politics, the social aspect, etc. When Donald Trump became the 45th president of the United States of America, I said to myself and others that I was wrong. I thought Hillary Clinton was gonna win the presidency, and I was glad to compromise and grow to appreciate President Trump as a president nonetheless. Even though sometimes I disagree with them, and some of the times I just think he's completely full of shit. But he's not a Nazi. He's not a fascist. He's not a white supremacist. He's not a pedophile. He's not a rapist. He's not anything that any extremist ever really called him. He is just the fucking president. That's all he ever is. And hopefully that's all he ever will be for the next 4 butt-fucking years. And I am tired of these fringe-ass leftists. The extreme ones only. The extremists. Those people. And I'm just as sick and tired of the anti-SJWs. Some conservatives, some of them even libertarian, but mainly just smug people that resort to acting no differently than the SJWs they hate so much. And this is exactly how I feel about this decade. Complete and utter bullshit. The politics of it was the worst. The second worst was the entertainment industry, Hollywood, Gamergate, movies that sucked ass, movies that got such fucking criticism even though they were really good films and had somewhat of a high rating. Some movies may even have split ratings or well out of touch ratings. Joker was one of the best fucking films of 2019, if not the best film of 2019. Even when movies actually got to the point of the message that the movie itself was trying to resonate, the mainstream media doesn't give a flying fuck about people who are mentally ill. They'd rather spread this bullshit gun control narrative to make things only worse. And these are the fucking people that I cannot fucking stand. And if you do believe in gun control, I'm sorry, you are either insane or you're just out of touch. Honestly, I've looked at statistics, I've watched so many videos about this whole gun control shit, and it's more likely, to be honest in my opinion, and I'll give the conservatives and right-wingers this, there would be less gun crime when someone has a gun to defend themselves with. Self-defense is the best thing that someone can do to defend themselves against anyone that has any potential to harm or kill you. And when it came to YouTube drama, I'm not mentioning all the shit that happened with me and other people, because that's irrelevant. I'm talking about the drama that had to do with the skeptic community, the Candid situation, when harmful opinions was deplatformed after merely criticizing a fucking app. Candid. Fucking Candid. People thought this was a free speech app. Not even BitChute is really a free speech website. Hell, sometimes some of my videos just randomly get unpublished. I don't know why. It's just fucking bullshit. I recommend YouTube over BitChute, cause fuck that shit. It's not a good enough substitute at all. Even fashion in this decade became meaningless. And this decade never really had a definitive or predominant fashion. There are a lot of other complaints I have about this decade, but they became so null and void that I look at the thought of even ranting about every single last thing with apathy. So I'll leave you with this. This decade sucks. I am Brian Mullins the Fox, signing out. Have a happy new year and a happy new decade. Bye.